Hello, I'm Courtney, what's up? And today I'm going to be recommending you all some series that you totally should read. So I have read a lot of series in the past 4 years, especially in the past year. Like last year, I read so many series and it was awesome, but some of those series I read were really good, some were bad, some are now like my favorite series ever. I've just read lots of series and I'm gonna be recommending some that I personally think you should totally read. But let's just get started with these recommendations. So the first series that I want to talk about is a series that I just marathoned this past month of February, and that is the Winter's Trilogy by Marie Rutowski. Now, I actually don't own any of these books, which is like very sad because like they're so beautiful. The covers are so gorgeous. But this trilogy is fantastic. I loved it so much. I have book talks on all the books. I will link the book talk to The Winter's Curse in the description box down below if you want to learn more about what this series is about. But I think this series is just so beautiful. It was so well written. Marie just has this great writing style and I just loved every second of it, and it's just so full of angst. Like if you want a series that has lots of angst, then like go read the Winter's Trilogy, because the Winter's Trilogy just broke me. I just died every 5 seconds. Like that's what it did to me, but it was so good though. The next series that I'm going to recommend is the PGO series by Rick Riordan, and honestly just any Rick Riordan book ever. I honestly feel like I kind of say this in every single video of mine, and I'm gonna keep saying it anyway. I think everyone should read Percy Jackson because these books are so good. These books made such a great impact on my life. This was like the first series that I ever really fell in love with, and I don't know where I would be without Rick's books, because now I'm such a huge reader and these books brought me to BookTube and they've just changed my life forever, and I don't think I have to explain what these books are about, but I just love Percy Jackson and I'm never leaving this fandom because the PGO fandom is just so wonderful, and I just love Rick's books and I'm gonna keep reading his books until he stops writing because I just love everything that Rick writes. I honestly think his books are getting better now, especially with Magnus Chase and Trials of Apollo. He's just been doing such a great job, and I love Percy Jackson so much, and everyone should read it. The next series that I'm going to recommend is the A Court of Thorns and Roses series and the Throne of Glass series, both by Sarah J Maas. I love everything that Sarah writes. Sarah is such a great writer. You probably know what these books are because everyone on BookTube has read these because they're so good, and I'm more of a fan of this series because, you know, Rysand is bae, but Throne of Glass is great as well. I feel like I don't have to explain what these books are about either because, like, these are very popular. A lot of people have read Sarah's books because they are amazing and they're so good. Both of these series are great. If I had to choose which one I like better, I'm honestly gonna go with the ACOTAR series. And it's like, I know there's only 2 books in this series, but like, the sequel is so good. The sequel feels like 2 books in one, and I just love the ACOTAR series. But Throne of Glass is great. I don't own the first book. This is a novella, bind up. I don't own Throne of Glass. Throne of Glass is the only book I don't own, and I feel like I should go buy it, but I don't know if I will. But Sarah's books, they're great. If you haven't read them yet, you totally should. Another series that I think everyone should totally read is the Six of Crows duology by Leah Bardugo. Now, Leah has another series which is called the Grisha Trilogy, which, don't get me wrong, I like the Grisha Trilogy, but I definitely think it's not as good as Six of Crows. Six of Crows was the first Leah Bardugo book I read, and I fell in love with it, and this time last year I was finishing up Ruin Rising. I actually may have been done with it at this point, but I had this Leah Bardugo phase and it was great, where I read like 4 of her books. It was awesome because Leah Bardugo is a great writer and I love the universe that she has created, the Grisha world, and you definitely need to read the Grisha trilogy to read these books, but Six of Crows is so much much better though. Like, I read this before I read the Christian trilogy and I was fine. But if you're gonna read the sequel to this, you gotta read the Christian trilogy. But everything that Leah writes is really good, but I just think the Six of Crows duology is much better. But just go read everything Leah writes, okay? She's amazing. Another series that you all should totally read is the Inane Burn the Ashes series by Sahaba Tahir. In my opinion, these books are like Star Wars meets Roman Empire in a way, just because there's a main character named Leia, and there's also these group of people called the Resistance, and just, I felt Star Wars vibes while reading these books. But this is a phenomenal series. There's 2 books, there's this, and there's also A Torch Against the Night, which I think the sequel is even better. Like, I enjoyed this, but this book, in my opinion, was very, like, slow in the beginning, and I didn't really like Leia that much. But then when you get to the sequel, man, that book is so good. And this is going to be a great series. There's going to be 2 more books. There's going to be 4 books in total, which that is so exciting, and I'm so excited for the 3rd book. I don't know when it's coming out, but I'm excited for it. And this is a great series, and they're huge too. So these are some great books to read if you're in the mood for a good big old fantasy book. So totally check them out. Another series that I gotta recommend that I think everyone should read is the Raven Cycle series by Maggie Stiefvater. I think around this time last year was when I started reading the Raven Boys, and oh my gosh, this series caused me all the feels. Like, I don't know if you know, but I never cry while reading books. I don't really cry, period. I know that's terrible to say, but it's true. But the final book, The Raven King, which came out last year, caused me to tear up. Like, that's how much I love this series. And I also love this series because of how unique and different it is. Like, I know all series are different, but this one's like really different because it deals with like dreams and psychics and Welsh mythology, and Glendower, that's a guy in this book that they're looking for. And it's just really cool. It was just so interesting to learn about all this stuff. And plus, I love the characters in these books. Blue and Gansey and Adam and Ronan and Noah. I just love the squad. Like, that's why I like really love these books, for those characters, because they're just so enjoyable and relatable. I just loved this series just so much. Another series that I think everyone should totally read, this is actually a contemporary series, and that is the Anne and the French Kiss books by Stephanie Perkins. Now, I'm not really sure if these books are like considered a series or not, because the other 2 books here, they're kind of like companion novels to this, but they're all connected to each other. Like, the characters know each other. So that's why I consider it a series. But this book, this is the first book, and it's the first one, and this one's my favorite because I loved every second of it. And these are just really cute contemporaries. Like, I read these during the summer. Well, I read this one in April, actually. But I read these 2 in the summer, and it was just really fun because they're just so adorable, and I just loved all of the couples. They're just so cute. There is like a lot of drama in these books though, which I know there's like drama in every contemporary book, but the drama in these books kind of got on my nerves. But that's okay, because they were still cute and adorable. If you want some really cute and fun contemporary books to read this summer, go pick up this series. And the last series that I'm going to recommend today is the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. These books are literally fairy tales in futuristic times, and they are awesome. If you're a fan of the TV show Once Upon a Time like me, then you are going to love these. These are literally Once Upon a Time in book form, and they're so good. Cinder is a great book, and honestly, the books get better as they go along. Like Winter, the final book, was my favorite book of 2015, because that finale book was just so good. It was just 800 pages of pure awesomeness, and I loved every second of it. But they're just so good. Cinder is obviously like a retelling of Cinderella. The main character, Cinder, is a cyborg. That's why she has that metal stuff in her foot, and it's so cool. And there's great characters. I love the squad in this book. They're so much fun, and these books are just so good. But that, my friends, were some series that I think you should totally read. I hope I have inspired you. I'm gonna link the book talks to like the first books in the description box down below if you want to learn more about these, because I did a really bad job of explaining what these books are about. But that's okay. My book talks, they're gonna be in this description box down below if you want to learn more about any of these books. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I am Courtney, and I'll see you all next time with a new video episode, so I will see you then. So, bye!